What's going on, YouTube? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far, but I would like to formally welcome you to the Stray Kids Iceberg breakdown video, man. Now, this is the video I've spent countless hours getting the information, typing up the document. I had a full script here that I got. I just really hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed the process of putting this all together. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a fairly new stay. I just got introduced to the boys back when Karma released. But I can say with 100% certainty, as I listen to all of their albums up to this point, that they are one of my all-time favorite groups. But with that being said, I couldn't really find an Iceberg that had more basic info that I was looking for, as well as more obscure entries that are lesser known to first-time listeners, casual fans. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. Lo and behold, the Stray Kids Iceberg. I'm not really sure how many entries are on this thing. I just know it's a lot. I tried my best to place things at proper levels based on my experience with this information. So if you disagree with where anything's placed, I am sorry. Just know that I really tried my damn best. Also, of course, just feel free to correct any information that I got wrong in the comment section down below, as well as any other extra entries that aren't on this Iceberg. Of course, I'm not going to be able to put every single thing. The boys have so much content. This Iceberg wouldn't come out until a year or two from now if I got everything. But without further ado, let's begin our journey into the Iceberg breakdown with level 1, Stray Kids.
Step out, hello, we are Stray Kids!
Unlike many K-pop groups, the name of the group was created by the members themselves. Origin. Stray Kids originated in South Korea, formed under JYP Entertainment. Debut date. Stray Kids would end up debuting on March 25th, 2018, a very special date to remember as every year it is celebrated. Which, as a matter of fact, if you're watching this video on March 25th, I made it. I was able to get it done in time for the 8-year anniversary. Just a pat on the back for me if I did manage to make it in time. The logo. The Stray Kids logo was actually hand-drawn by Bang Chan and usually changes color based on the project. Mala taste. Their sound is usually described as intense, energetic, and unique, kind of like a grungier take on K-pop. The phrase mala taste comes from the Chinese malatong. Hopefully I'm saying that right, but it's a spicy soup known for its intense and varied flavors, which is actually the perfect way of describing Stray Kids' sound. God's Menu. Of course, this was their breakout hit, which released June 17th, 2020, and it gained global attention, cementing them as a powerful performance group. Felix's voice. If there's one thing anyone and everyone remembers about Stray Kids, it's Felix's voice, man. His voice is noticeably deeper than the rest of the group and often shocks listeners on their first listen. If you watch just about any God's Menu first reaction, people always spaz out about Felix's voice, and it is usually the one thing that people remember. Billboard history. Now, the Stray Kids have set a wild Billboard record by becoming the first act in history to have their first 8 consecutive charting albums debut at #1 on the Billboard 200. This streak started with their album Ordinary in 2022 and has continued to the most recent release of Do It. I definitely anticipate this record getting bigger as time goes on. But just at the end of this first layer, you can already see what made Stray Kids stand out. But moving on to level 2 of the Iceberg, where you know each member and you watch content sometimes. The level I like to call Casual Stay. But before we go any deeper, let's introduce all 8 members, because if you don't know them by now, the rest of the Iceberg may get a little confusing. Bang Chan. Born in 1997, Bang Chan is the leader of the group, who was a longtime trainee. I'm talking 7 years long. That is insane. Lino. Born in 1998, Lino is a former backup dancer who's very sharp and precise in what he does. Before I continue though, let me just say that each member of the group is very well-rounded and they can do anything. I'm kind of just pointing out highlights of them that they're kind of known for. Changbin. Born in 1999, Changbin is primarily known for his raps, how fast he can deliver bars, and his energetic stage presence. Also, his iconic Hyunjin. Born in 2000. Hyunjin, man. Need I say more? Really though, he's an expressive dancer, looks stunning, and also has a secret talent that we'll touch on a little bit later. Han. Another 2000 baby. Han is a rapper, singer, songwriter, known for writing some of the most emotional lyrics in the group. Felix. Born in Australia in the year, you guessed it, 2000, is primarily known for his super deep voice. You hear it once and you'll always know who Felix is in a song. Sunmin, the final member born in 2000, is the lead vocalist of Stray Kids, and also might be my personal bias. I don't know. I love them all, but just Sunmin and me, we got a little connection. I don't know, bro. Ian, the Maknae himself, born in 2001. Ian is the youngest member of Stray Kids and one of the main vocalists. Fun fact, he was actually the second member to join the group. Now that we know names to faces, let's go ahead and continue into these next few entries. 3RACHA. 3RACHA is one of the subunits of Stray Kids consisting of Bangchan, Chanbin, and Han. Unlike many K-pop groups, Stray Kids are known for self-writing and producing their own music. This is where 3RACHA comes in. They're in charge of a majority of the group's songwriting, composing, and producing. This subunit was actually formed back in 2016 before Stray Kids were a thing, and they were releasing music consistently with just the three of them. vtgAkuma. vtgAkuma is a subunit consisting of just Sunmin and Ian. You can tell by the name what this group specializes in. Sunmin and Ian are considered to be the group's primary vocalists. While everyone in the group can definitely sing, it's worth mentioning that these two just hit different. Now, vtgAkuma did have a third member at one point, but we'll get to that in a later entry. DanceRACHA. DanceRACHA is another subunit of Stray Kids consisting of Lino, Hyunjin, and Felix. This subunit is Stray Kids' primary dancers and visuals. As far as I know, they don't come up with the choreography for title tracks, but they are heavily involved with helping members perfect their movements. Elevator!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Please pardon my shenanigans. The Elevator is the first song released by Stray Kids and was their pre-debut single. It was created by the group after receiving their first mission by JY Park on the survival show with the task of completing the stage with a self-written song. It premiered with the music video on October 6, 2017 and was later released digitally on November 1st of the same year. District 9. District 9 is the Stray Kids' first debut song, which was featured on their mini album I Am Not. Within this song would actually be the first time Stray Kids everywhere all around the world would be used. A little more on that phrase later on. Projects. At the time of this recording, Stray Kids currently have 26 projects released, including full albums, mini albums, and EPs. These albums range from having Korean lyrics, English, and Japanese albums as well. Noisy. Noisy was Stray Kids' first million-selling album, not only a milestone for themselves, but it also made them the first artist under JYP Entertainment to achieve a million-selling album. Stay. The official name for the Stray Kids fandom is Stay. On August 1st, 2018, a video was uploaded on Stray Kids' YouTube channel announcing the group's fandom name. The video showed the word kids and the letter R from Stray Kids vanishing, revealing the group's fandom name to be Stay, which takes us into the next entry. Slogans. Stray Kids have two main slogans: Stray Kids everywhere all around the world and You Made Stray Kids Stay. Stray Kids everywhere all around the world is used as a hopeful message to those who feel lost or astray. The guys use their music to reach out to, well, as the slogan implies, other Stray Kids to let them know they're not alone and help encourage them. You Made Stray Kids Stay is a group's way of saying the fans are the reason that they exist and continue to make music. If there's one thing you should know, it's that Stray Kids really love and care about their fans and they do not take them for granted. Stizu. Stizu are official cartoon characters that represent each member. These characters often mirror the members' personalities, nicknames, or physical resemblances. We'll get a better breakdown of each Stizu individually at the next level of the iceberg. Mashups. Before each album, Stray Kids like to put out videos on YouTube that feature snippets of each song on the upcoming album as a mashup. These videos usually feature an entirely different beat than is used on the album, but gives fans a little sneak peek at what they can expect. I think it's really cool, and I've personally never seen this done before, and the quality is so good, dude. You could easily listen to one of the mashup songs just as a song on its own. Collaborations. Stray Kids have done collaborations with artists like Charlie Puth, Lisa, Alesso, Tighter JK, and various other artists. But they have said that they would like to work with Post Malone and Kendrick Lamar as well. They have said that they're open to collabing with whoever though. With Karma being released to being their 7th consecutive #1, they achieved history here. They would of course go on to get their 8th consecutive #1 with the release of Do It. Karma would also go on to win the 2025 MAMA Awards Album of the Year. If you want to see a beautiful, albeit very emotional acceptance speech, check that out after this video. Here's a sneak peek.
그동안 지켜봤던 꼭 서보고 싶었던 마마.
Awards. Stray Kids have won over 120 awards worldwide, including more than a dozen Daesangs, which are the highest honors in K-pop. And at the end of level 2, it's safe to say that you are a fan, aka a stay. But going on to level 3, where you may follow content, lore, and some behind the scenes stuff. So let's get into the dedicated stay layer. Survival show. In August 2017, JYP announced that a new reality show was coming with the intention of debuting their new artist. The members were hand-selected by Bangchan, which is pretty unusual in the K-pop scene. It's worth noting that they didn't form on the survival show and were actually working together before that. But on the show, they were judged based on individual abilities and teamwork through different missions and had the risk of being eliminated. The Dominate Experience. The Dominate Experience marks the Stray Kids' first theatrical release. The film essentially offered fans a chance to experience their concert from the Dominate World Tour, specifically featuring footage captured from the shows in LA on May 31st and June 1st of 2025. The film earned approximately $20 million globally in its opening weekend, securing the #1 spot in 61 territories. I'm happy to say it is now available on digital for you to watch at home. I also do have a separate video discussing my thoughts and my experience within watching that film if you want to check that out, but I will say I highly recommend watching. I had such a great time. DVDs. Some of you watching might think this should be in the casual stay level, but I had no idea these existed until doing my research. So Stray Kids have actually released concert films before, but they didn't get theatrical releases, just DVDs. Currently, there are 7 DVDs that include Second World Tour Maniac, 5-Star Dome Tour 2023, The Fiesta, Fan Connecting 2024, Skiz Toy World, Japan Showcase 2019, High Stay, World Tour District 9 Unlocked, and World Tour Dominate. Not to be confused with the Dominate Experience, which I guess would actually make the number be 8 with the recent release of that on DVD. Hyunpick. Remember how I said Hyunjin has a special talent? Well, this is it. Hyunjin is a passionate and very skilled painter. He actually shares quite a bit of his work on his Instagram, and I'm very convinced he could easily pursue this as a career if he really wanted to. Hyunjin started learning to paint in 2021 during a hiatus, which we will cover a little bit later on. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds and the Stray Kids developed a close friendship after the group referenced Deadpool in the 2021 Kingdom Legendary War performance. Ryan Reynolds has expressed immense love for Stray Kids, praising their authenticity, joy, and inventive marketing. Stray Kids were actually planned to be featured in the Deadpool and Wolverine film, but due to scheduling conflicts, it did not happen. Actually, you will see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman make an appearance in the Chick Chick Boom music video. Writing credits. Now, all 8 members of Stray Kids have writing credits, but we have to talk about Bangchan's. At the time of recording, Bangchan has over 230 KOMCA credits to his name. KOMCA standing for the Korea Music Copyright Association. This puts him among the most credited idols in K-pop history and the highest credited 4th generation idol. With the way things are going, it's only a matter of time until he is the most credited of all time. Funny moments. Honestly, Stray Kids have so many funny moments out there, it would be impossible to go through them all. The video would be hours long with just funny moments if I tried that. So instead, I'll just give you a few of my favorites.
마주다보 이런 거 하잖아요. 아 진짜 알 수 있어. 진짜 진짜로? 아 브라이.
Nothing beats peaches. I love peaches. Peaches and pineapples. Yeah, 여기 you like that? Yeah.
잘 들었다.
돈, 명예, 사랑.
전 사랑이요.
완전 로맨틱 가인데.
돈, 명예, 사랑이면 사랑이죠.
아 3번 이거 로맨틱한 사람이네. 아 별로야.
I think maybe Felix. Oh, Felix. His voice. Oh.
Yeah, true.
Deep voice.
별로래 창빈이가.
뭘 음악에 대해서 뭐 한다고 저 형 자꾸. 형 음악 알아? 형 진짜 음악 알아?
미안.
와 미치겠네.
형이 좀 공부해올게.
진짜. 아 다시 할게요.
진짜 잠수도 있긴 한데. Yes, I do.
You have?
It's not have, it's he does.
From who? From Changbin.
It's okay. That's everyone does that. Everyone does it. Yeah, everyone does it.
Really?
Yeah, everyone does it. It's okay.
충격인데?
How do you feel about it?
Terrible.
Compass. The broken compass is a symbol that's often linked to Stray Kids and their message as a group. Instead of representing a fixed direction, it's more about finding your own path. That idea shows up a lot in the music and concepts, breaking away from expectations and choosing who you want to be. For a group built around the idea of being stray, the compass becomes less about guidance from others and more about guiding yourself. The compass is also featured in the Stray Kids light stick, Nachimbong. Apologies if I mispronounce anything at all in this video. But let's go ahead and get a breakdown of each individual Skizu character. Wolf-chan. This is the Skizu character for Bang-chan. Simple enough due to Chan being used in the name, the Skizu was designed with Bang-chan's leadership in mind and apparently often using a wolf emoji in his text messages. Libit. Libit belongs to none other than Lino. Libit's design was inspired by Lino's front bunny teeth and his mischievous persona. Doiki. Doiki is a Skizu character for Chanbin, heavily inspired by a clay figure that Chanbin made which looked like a mixture of a pig and a rabbit. How he managed to do this, I have no idea, but the name comes from a combination of Doeji meaning pig and Toki meaning rabbit in Korean. Jinniret. Jinniret is the Skizu belonging to Hyunjin. Jinniret is a ferret and was inspired by Hyunjin's resemblance to a ferret with his facial features including a beauty spot under his eye. The name is a combination of Jinny, which is a common nickname for Hyunjin, and the word ferret. Han Kwoka. Can you guys guess which member this one belongs to? If you guessed Han, you are absolutely correct. This design was based on how Han's cheeks get full when eating, looking like a quokka or squirrel. This guy would absolutely excel in Chubby Bunny. Porkery. This chick is the Skizu avatar for Felix, inspired by Felix being compared to a chick for his cuteness and bright personality. The name comes from a combination of Bok, from Felix's Korean name being Yeon Bok, and Byongari meaning chick. Again, apologies for butchering pronunciations, man. Puppy M, representing my goat, Sunmin, inspired by Sunmin's gentle puppy-like persona and features. Foxini. Last but not least, this is a Skizu for IN. This Skizu is actually a fennec fox and inspired by IN's resemblance. The name Foxini is actually a pun on the Korean word Pakshini, which translates to fluffy, reflecting the character's appearance. Ninth member. I contemplated putting this in the Iceberg for a while, honestly. I know it's a sour topic for a lot of people, but it is a part of the Stray Kids history, so therefore I feel like it has to be at least mentioned. Woo Jin was the ninth member from 2017 to 2019. On October 27, 2019, JYP Entertainment announced Woo Jin's departure from the group and JYP due to personal circumstances. Specifics were never given by either party, but this is a part of the Stray Kids story that most like to forget about. With that being said, let's continue. OT8 songs. Stray Kids re-recorded many of the earlier songs as 8-member versions, also known as OT8 versions, following the departure of Woo Jin. These re-recorded songs would be featured on both Stiz 2020 and Stiz 2021. But not all songs were re-recorded though, like School Life, Glow, 4419, and Hero Soup. Stiz Record and Stiz Player. I'm grouping these ones together because they are very similar with just one key difference. With Stiz Record, the members can upload self-composed songs and covers without a music video, and with Stiz Player, they are songs released with an accompanying music video. All Stiz Record and all Stiz Player songs released from 2020 to 2022 would eventually be released on all streaming platforms in the form of the album Stiz Replay, with the exception of cover songs and Chanbin's song Cypher. Met Gala 2024. Stray Kids marked the first time an entire K-pop group has hit the Met Gala together, creating yet another historic milestone. But it wasn't all positive. Paparazzi was blatantly rude and disrespectful towards the members. In video, you can hear photographers huffing and puffing about having to take photos of them, making jokes about them, and even just mocking them for being Korean, just kind of being flat out racist. It's honestly pretty disgusting behavior, man. But the boys did not let it faze them at all and kept it moving like the kings that they are, man. Androgynous Felix. Felix is known for embracing an androgynous fashion style, often blending traditionally masculine and feminine elements in his looks. From long hair and soft makeup to delicate styling and jewelry, his visuals sometimes contrast with typical male idol standards. This has made him stand out not just within Stray Kids, but in K-pop as a whole, where rigid beauty norms are still very common. Fans often praise his confidence and versatility, and his styling has contributed to broader conversations about gender expression in the industry. Eliminations. During the Stray Kids survival show, Lino and Felix were actually eliminated from the team. Lino would be eliminated in episode 4 of the show due to mistakes and lack of confidence, while Felix was eliminated in episode 8 for Korean language difficulties. We'll address that in the next entry. But both members were brought back for the final mission because JYP determined the group was stronger as 9. This topic will actually come back again later in the Iceberg, so stay tuned for that. Felix's Korean journey. So Felix was born and raised in Australia, meaning he grew up in a predominantly English-spoken environment. While his parents are Korean, they often used a mix of Korean and English at home, which led to Felix understanding some basics but not speaking fluently. Felix really started learning Korean when he moved to Seoul and joined JYP. Because of this, Felix really had to lock in and learn by daily studying and practicing, especially as the group would be making music predominantly in Korean. Felix is now considered fluent, able to converse naturally on television in interviews and with fans. Han's anxiety. Han has been very open about experiencing anxiety, particularly in earlier years of his career. There have been moments where it affected his ability to participate in certain schedules, especially in crowded or high-pressure environments, but over time, fans have noticed his growth and increased confidence on stage. Chanbin duality. One funny thing about Chanbin is how quickly he can switch from an intense rapper on stage to acting super cute and playful offstage. The contrast is just something fans love and adore. Han chaos energy. Han is known for chaotic energy, especially during games or variety content where he can go from super confident to panicking in a matter of seconds.
아, 이거 이해입니다.
정답은
창빈이다.
왜 몰라? 왜 소봉 씨가 여기 안 타고 다니는 사람이? 소봉 씨 그냥 타올라 했어 한번. 뭘?
벌써 사이가 안 좋네요.
내가 널 위해서 이거 준비한 거야. 나도 형을 위해서 준비한 게 아니야.
Cheating Sunmin. Sunmin is well known among fans and members for being a sneaky cheater in games and variety content, particularly in Stiz Code. He often uses clever, funny, and sneaky tricks to win, to the point where members have joked about needing to stop his antics. It is a known part of his competitive, playful personality.
와 이거.
이야.
아 이렇게 건든다고 저거를?
와 진짜 너무하다. 이것만.
가볍게 이길 거라 생각했습니다. 근데 그런 협잡까지 할 줄은 몰랐습니다. 달리죠 저한테.
Kingdom. Kingdom Legendary War was a reality and survival show where 6 boy groups would compete for the #1 spot, winning the title of Kings of K-pop. The 6 groups featured on the show included Stray Kids, The Boys, ATEEZ, BTOB, iKON, and SF9. Stray Kids ended up winning the show, which earned them the title in a special Mnet reality show called Kingdom Week No Plus to commemorate their victory and promote their next comeback, No Easy. Reactions. Now there are tons of reaction content to Stray Kids music, myself included. Bangchan has said he watches reactions to their stuff and likes to see how people interpret their music or small details people pick up on. The boys also do their own reactions to their own music videos sometimes as well. I can't help but wonder if they've seen any of my videos. It actually makes me a little bit nervous thinking about it. Let's move on. Lino's humor. Lino is known for having a very dry sense of humor, where he'll say something completely out of pocket, but with a straight face.
여러분 한이를 걱정해 주세요. 수명이 얼마 안 남았거든요.
A lot of newer fans can't really tell if he's joking or being serious. Now, Stray Kids have quite a bit of behind-the-scenes content that highlights their personalities more than the music. So let's go over those with these next few entries. Rachalog. Rachalog is a YouTube vlog series featuring different 2 to 4 member subunits, aka Rachas, where they share their daily activities, hobbies, and fun moments together. Now remember how we went over those 3 subunits earlier on in the video? Well, there are a lot more for when different members get together, and I mean a lot more. It would take a while to name them all off, so I'll just briefly show you them courtesy of Stray Kids Wiki. Stiz Talker. Stiz Talker is a long-running web series that follows the group backstage during album promotions and award show seasons, often showing raw footage of the members at music shows, music video shoots, and dance practices. This series actually started alongside I Am Not and has continued since then. Stiz Talker Go. This is essentially the same concept as Stiz Talker, but the Go series follows the members during world tours and shows abroad. Stiz Code. This is a variety web show where the members participate in games, trips, and themed activities. This web series really highlights the members' personalities and teamwork. Stiz Code first started in February 2021, and at the time of this recording there are 6 seasons and 93 episodes. Stiz Vlog. A vlog series where each episode usually follows an individual member and sometimes, like very rarely, will be a unit. No, like seriously, it is super rare. I think right now there's like 2 or 3 unit vlogs out of the 76 videos. Now bear with me on this next part as there are a lot of kids series shows that the boys have put out over the years. Let's go over those real quick. 2 Kids Room. This was the first Kids Room show in 2018 where 2 members of the group sat down and discussed their personalities and relationship together. 1 Kids Room. This was a show where one member would answer questions about his personality while the other members would comment on him together. 2 Kids Song. A series of 4 episodes where the group was split up into random pairs and had to make a song from the same beat. Art Kids Room. This show is kind of like that super old show from like the 1960s, The Dating Game. Basically, one member would be in a separate room from 2 other members, and whoever was by themselves would ask questions. The 2 members would provide answers and have the best one chosen. Whoever's answers the one member liked more would end up being his soulmate, and they lived happily ever after. It has actually been announced that this show will make a return sometime this year. 2 Kids Room. This was a reboot of the original 2018 version, but this time instead of just the 2 members being involved, the rest of the group would also comment on them from a different room. This show went through all 28 pairings within the group. 2 Kids Show. 2 Kids Show featured Lino or Chanbin as a host, while 2 members joined and told stories and would sing a song together. 1 Kids Room 2024. This was a rebooted version of 1 Kids Room following the same formula where one member talked about himself while the others discussed the member together. But a new segment was added to this reboot called Guess One Kid, where they would have to guess the one member's response to a question. 2 Kids Room 2025. At the time of this recording, this is the most recently released kids series show, which just finished in January of this year. Here again, we see the 2 members seated discussing their relationship together. The difference here is we have pre-recorded comments done by the 2 kids themselves as opposed to the other members commenting. Endorsements. The Stray Kids seem to be highly sought after by brands, whether that be a campaign, brand ambassador, or going to events. At the time of recording, all of the kids are brand ambassadors for at least one brand except Han. I'm 99% sure Han's kind of just waiting for the right moment, right timing type of thing. I mean, he's Han, let's be for real. Now, I'm not going to go over each ambassadorship here, but I do want to know a couple. The group as a whole are ambassadors for Tommy Hilfiger, Bang Chan is brand ambassador for Fendi, Hyunjin for Versace, and Lino for Gucci. This is literally just the tip of this mini iceberg when it comes to endorsements. Felix actually holds the most with a whopping 9, including Louis Vuitton, Samsung, and most recently Adidas. Philanthropy. Stray Kids members are actively involved in philanthropy, frequently donating large sums, often 100 million won or more, usually to charities, hospitals, and disaster relief on birthdays and special occasions. Key efforts include donations to World Vision, UNICEF, and Samsung Seoul Hospital, supporting causes like pediatric care, clean water, and wildfire recovery. The guys have been inducted into World Vision Korea's Bob Pierce Honor Club for their consistent, significant donations. Mental health. Stray Kids members have openly addressed mental health, focusing on themes of resilience, anxiety, and self-love to support their fans, with member Han previously taking a break for anxiety. Their music frequently tackles themes of despair, inner struggles, and overcoming challenges, aiming to provide comfort. The group often speaks on the importance of managing mental health and dealing with negative emotions, encouraging fans to seek support. Chan's Room. Chan's Room, or Chani's Room, was a weekly live stream that Bang Chan hosted. It served as a relaxed space for him to listen to music, chat, and connect with fans, often featuring fellow members as guests. Embarrassing moments. With as many performances as these guys have done, it would be impossible for there not to be mishaps on stage. These range from members pants ripping, slipping on stage, to forgetting the lyrics and mumbling some mumbo jumbo.
filming in MCA. And I forgot my lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all had like an experience where we ripped something.
Yeah.
It happens.
다들 바지를 찢을 때 난 무대를 찢었지.
Next question.
Now that was quite a bit of info, I know. That was a lot. Let's go ahead and take a brief intermission, shall we?
Flaming hot Cheetos.
Now on to the fourth layer of the iceberg, the stay rabbit hole. Stiz record origin. At the time of the pandemic, JYP was looking for content to put out when the legendary Sunmin asked them to release his cover of Start Over by Gaho.
I can fly the sky, never gonna stay. 내가 지쳐 쓰러질 때까지.
Because of this, Stiz Record was created and introduced as an audio-only platform for covers and original songs. Shout out my guy Sunmin, man, for real. Leader IN. In most K-pop groups, the youngest member is treated like a baby, but the Stray Kids flip that completely. IN is known as maknae on top because he confidently teases and claps back at the older members instead of being babied. The nickname even became a whole song cementing his image as the youngest who somehow runs the group. But don't get me wrong, the guys seem like they are willing and ready to die for IN if they needed to. Biggest takeaway from this is that IN is not your typical maknae. Han's gamble. Han finished school around 15 or 16, and his parents agreed to let him move back to Korea to pursue being an idol, but only on one condition. If he didn't get into a company within a year, he would return to Malaysia and continue his studies. Against all odds, he joined JYP Entertainment within just 5 months, kickstarting the path that would eventually lead to Stray Kids. 3 Racha aliases. The 3 members of 3 Racha have aliases for production credits. Baechan is CB97, Han is J1, and Chanbin is Spear Beat. BTS Lee Know. Lee Know is actually a professional backup dancer for BTS during their 2017 tour in Japan and appeared in the Not Today music video. Han Pop. This is a term used for the sound of songs written by Han. Han likes to write emotional and raw lyrics. Han Pop songs are usually pretty easy to spot with deep lyrics referring to life and love.
I'm just lonely, 누가 나 위해 손을 뻗어 날 잡아줘. I'm a feeling on this.
Felix's Brownies. Felix is known for baking brownies for the members, which became a recurring and wholesome joke in the fandom. He specifically had a decadent fudgy brownie recipe that went viral online. Fans and influencers frequently recreate his recipe, which often feature ingredients like espresso powder for enhanced flavor, brown sugar, and plenty of chocolate chips. Hyunjin 2021 hiatus. In 2021, Hyunjin temporarily stepped away from activities after school bullying allegations surfaced. He remained on hiatus for several months before eventually returning to the group. It's a moment that had a noticeable impact on Stray Kids promotions during that time. His first appearance back would be featured on the song Mixtape O. Chan's Trainee Network. During his 7-year training period, Baechan trained alongside dozens of idols who either debuted in other groups or just never debuted at all. While fans know a few names, there are still many connections that were never publicly documented, making that era of his life feel partially unknown. Mino name change. Lee Know adopted the stage name Lee Know to avoid confusion with other celebrities who have the same name, Mino, as his birth name is Lee Mino. He chose the spelling K-N-O-W to avoid the N-O in his name and to represent his confidence, but some stays prefer to use Mino still. IN name change. IN's name comes from the last syllable of his name, Jongin. He decided In would be too plain, so it became IN. What does it mean though? Well, I'll let him answer that.
이제 팬들 내한테 다 와라. 내한테 다 와라. 이미 약간 들어오라 안으로 들어오라. 팬분들 다 오세요. 들어와.
Sunmin's OG dream. Sunmin actually grew up wanting to play baseball professionally, but he was unable to due to a combination of an injury and deteriorating family financial circumstances during his youth. But following the end of his baseball dreams, he focused entirely on singing, later attending a JYP Entertainment open audition where he placed second and began his training. IN Trot. IN loves trot music, and that's actually what got him into singing. He has said that he would sing trot songs at his church growing up. If you don't know what trot songs are, they are very traditional, classic form of Korean music. Fan wars. Now, I was scrolling on Twitter the other day and I had seen some TXT fans dissing Stray Kids, specifically Tortoise in the Hair. And I opened the replies and I was surprised by how many more people were piling on. After looking into it a bit more, it seems that this type of thing has been going on for years. Now, I'm pretty new to the K-pop scene, so I don't know all the history, but from what I can tell, there's always a small part of other fandoms that are coming after Stray Kids, kind of like seeming as it's a competition, like there can only be one good group. It's pretty ridiculous, especially considering that Stray Kids are well liked by their peers and like get along with pretty much everyone. It's definitely not an issue of group versus group, just fans after the group attacking the group for whatever reason, man. It is definitely okay to like more than one group. It is not a crime. Han and Hyunjin beef. Han and Hyunjin have admitted they did not get along during the training days, with their conflict becoming so severe they once almost came to physical blows. This led to a serious conversation where they apologized to each other and improved their relationship significantly. Chan's Room controversy. In episode 208 of Chan's Room, Bang Chan spoke about an event that they had attended, mentioning that he had felt a bit surprised and disappointed that some groups didn't greet their seniors. He didn't name anyone specifically and didn't really go too deep into it. It was more of like a passing comment than anything serious. However, parts of the fandom, specifically the more toxic side, started speculating about who he might have been referring to. A lot of that speculation ended up targeting other groups, which quickly spiraled into a bigger conflict between fandoms. What started as a vague comment turned into a full-blown fan war, and the situation escalated to the point where Bang Chan had to come forward and apologize. In a fan-signed video spread online, Bang Chan has said that the show can no longer be hosted as the company won't allow it. It's a perfect example of how fast things can spiral in K-pop when fans start filling in the blanks themselves. Lost the V-Live era. Before platforms changed, a lot of Stray Kids livestream content existed in a space that wasn't permanently archived. Some broadcasts are partially lost, some exist only in low quality fan recordings. There are references to specific jokes, comments, or interactions that newer fans simply cannot trace back anymore, making that era feel almost fragmented. Alternate song versions. Because Stray Kids are so involved in production, many of their songs go through multiple versions before release. Fans believe that some tracks had completely different lyrics or tones early on, meaning the versions we hear aren't always the original version.
맞아, 완전 소리포테인. 맞아. 이게 완전 유럽 EDM. 와, 이거 진짜.
나와야죠.
But that'll bring us to the end of the Stay rabbit hole. Congratulations, you have made it to the last layer. It's time to get lost in District 9. Crocodile Han. When Han was a kid in Malaysia, he went on a jungle tour and they were going through the shallow part of a river. Apparently, Han's hand slipped out of the guides and he was swept downstream. He said that he saw a crocodile tail right before the guide was able to grab him. I can't even imagine the fear and adrenaline that was going through little Han's body. Yeonbok. Felix's Korean name, Yeonbok, was actually given to him by his grandfather, but funnily enough, his mom wasn't a fan of it at all. She thought it sounded really old-fashioned and actually cried about it for months after he was named. Because of that, when Felix moved to Korea and joined JYP Entertainment, he didn't really want anyone to know his Korean name and was actually advised by his agency to keep it a secret, but that didn't last too long. At one point, a prescription was delivered to the dorm under the name Lee Yeonbok, and the members were confused about who it was, until they eventually realized it was Felix. After that, the name kind of stuck. Over time, Felix became more comfortable with it. Now, the members switch between calling him Felix and Yeonbok pretty casually, and sometimes even jokingly call him Yeonlix. Survival show eliminations theory. Now, this is a pretty popular theory, but a lot of fans believe that Lino and Felix's eliminations on the survival show were not genuine and were planned by JY Park for entertainment. The idea is that they were never truly meant to be cut, but instead temporarily eliminated to raise the stakes and emotional impact. And just to be clear, fans do not think that the members themselves knew. The group's reactions when the eliminations happened felt completely real. What makes this theory interesting is how questionable the reasoning was. While neither Lino nor Felix were perfect, they weren't noticeably worse than the other trainees. The reason given for their eliminations felt vague and didn't fully line up with their actual performances. There are also some suspicious details. Lino once mentioned he got in trouble for cutting his hair after being eliminated, which suggests that there may have already been plans for him to return. And when they were brought back, the explanation was that they had improved through practice. But that raises another question. Why eliminate them in the first place if they just need more time to practice? Felix's case especially stands out. He was initially criticized for his Korean skills to the point of being eliminated, but then returned just weeks later with what was suddenly considered a strong improvement. For many fans, the turnaround felt a little too fast to be completely natural. Because of all this, some stays believe the eliminations were less about skill and more about creating one of the most emotional and memorable moments in the group's formation. Let me know what you think about this. Scary Chan. When the group first got together, the guys were pretty nervous about how to approach Bang Chan. With Chan being a trainee for 7 years, he saw a lot of friends come and go and got to a point where he didn't want to become close with people. It's hard to imagine a darker version of Bang Chan where he is more standoffish, but I totally get where he's coming from and why he would be kind of wary of making new friends.
I was like, I'm not gonna be friends with anyone. I do not want to experience this pain again. I'm not gonna be friends with. That's why I was always so dark, you know, like, because for them it's like, he's so scary, like, oh, 7 years, how do I approach him? Grandmaster!
Felix's cosplay. Felix actually used to do cosplay as a kid and attended conventions. I'm not sure if he really does it as much anymore, but I'm sure he could pull off some crazy stuff if he really wanted to. Lino Riz. It's agreed within the group that Lino is the best when it comes to Riz, aka flirting. I can't even imagine how he would be on his approach. I don't even think Lino needs to do anything, to be honest. Felix voiceover. Felix has said that he would like the opportunity to do some narration work at some point, whether it's for anime, cartoons, or a Disney film. Obviously, he has the voice for it, and I would definitely like to see this happen soon. Massage machine. Stray Kids actually have their own personal massage therapist, aka Felix. Felix is often described as being very good at giving massages, frequently massaging his fellow members. Can you imagine Felix being your massage therapist? Felix Taekwondo. Felix has actually earned a 2nd degree black belt in Taekwondo and has earned over 60 medals. I don't even think the guys need security at this point. Send Felix on him. As I'm going through this, I'm realizing just how much Felix info we got. IN rejection. IN was actually rejected after his first audition to be a trainee because he looked too young. Apparently they told him to come back when he looked a little older. I guess he looked old enough after his 2nd audition to where he secured the job. 3RACHA deleted tracks. Some of the songs 3RACHA would release back in the day would be using pre-existing beats with their own lyrics on top. Many, if not all, are since deleted from their official pages, but you can find most of them through fan pages that re-uploaded them on SoundCloud or YouTube. Chan never sleeps. One running joke in the fandom is that Bang Chan never actually sleeps. Why, you may ask? Because Mans is always working. He's always producing music, doing live streams, or working late into the night. Fans just started joking that he's constantly awake. And honestly, with how often he's active, it's not that hard to believe. Prequel storyline. Now, the prequel storyline can be pretty confusing, but bear with me here as I try to explain it, and hopefully it makes some sense to you by the end of this. Stray Kids' prequel storyline takes place in a dystopian world where the members are trapped in a system that demands perfection. Even though they're told they're unique, they all feel the same, so they break away and create District 9, a safe haven for anyone who feels lost, encouraging people to step out and be themselves. Now, the I Am trilogy represents their identity crisis, questioning who they are and ultimately realizing they share the same dream, which leads them to begin their journey together through Elevator. In the Clay series, each key represents a stage of that journey. Clay 1 Miro introduces the maze. They try to escape, but end up back to where they started, forcing them to rebel and choose their own path in Clay 2 Yellowwood. Now, side effects acts as a turning point here. One path offers comfort in a controlled new world, while the other is uncertain and difficult. These become two parallel universes happening at the same time, with IN acting as the glitch who's aware of both. Levanter shows these two worlds colliding. The new world represents comfort, while their original path represents growth through struggle. Ultimately, they realize they have to let go of the comfort to move forward. In the end, they realize they don't need a key at all. They are the key. That's why they destroy the system and why Clay Levanter isn't called Clay 3. From there, Go Live continues the story as both worlds merge, showing the rise and rebellion against the system. At its core, this entire storyline mirrors the real Stray Kids journey, rejecting expectations, forging their own path, and encouraging others to do the same. Just live freely and be yourself. On Track Universe. This story portrays the ordeals a group of friends go through in hopes to be reunited in happiness again, after a conflict related to their film club project occurred. This storyline spans the songs of Mixtape on Track, Be Me, Mixtape O, and The View, as well as the music drama Skizflix. Bang Chan everywhere. Long before debut, Bang Chan was basically everywhere. As a kid, he appeared in commercials, like for Beef and Nintendo, and later as a trainee under JYP, older idols and trainees would bring him along everywhere. Fans have spotted him in countless old photos, music videos, and behind-the-scenes clips, like as a zombie extra in Twice's Ooh Ah. His presence everywhere makes digging through old JYP content kind of like a treasure hunt for stays. Genius Chan Bin. Chanbin was actually known for being a diligent student who served as class president during his school days. He was also involved in student leadership as a dance club leader and excelled in mathematics, often surprising fans with his responsible background before becoming a prominent rapper. Hyunjin cult. According to stories shared by the members, Hyunjin was nearly tricked into joining a cult while he was a trainee. The story goes a stranger had stopped him, claimed that Hyunjin had a bad aura, and asked if he could pray for him. When he was brought to a room and realized what was happening, he tried to leave but was asked to donate money. While Hyunjin ended up giving them the 5,000 won that he had with him, he was able to leave. Talk about a close call, man. IN cult. It seems that Hyunjin was not the only one who almost joined the cult. While on a holiday in Gangnam, IN was approached by a stranger who seemed to know his personality. The stranger then invited him into a house and asked him to burn a paper with his name on it, claiming that it would grant his wishes. Feeling pretty uneasy about it, IN had refused initially, but eventually ended up burning the paper so he could get the hell out of there. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going into no stranger's house. Cheongdam High School line. Sunmin and Baekchan both attended Cheongdam High School in Seoul, but they did not attend high school at the same time as Baekchan is actually older than Sunmin. In and out traffic jam. A few years ago when Stray Kids were on tour, Sunmin jokingly told the LA venue to get in and out after the show. What was he thinking, bro? Best believe that is exactly what people did. There was a long line of traffic from the restaurant out into the street. Sunmin addressed it at the following show, saying that the fans were excellent. 0 to 100 Hyunjin. Hyunjin actually had zero experience before becoming a trainee at JYP. Hyunjin was initially approached because of his visuals, but he worked very hard to establish himself as a dancer and rapper. And last but not least, identity built early. Unlike many groups that evolve into their sound, Stray Kids found their identity early on through self-production. Because of 3 Roch's involvement, their music has remained consistent in message and tone, even as their sound evolves over time. And that'll bring us to the end of the iceberg. If you weren't a stay before this video, congratulations, you are now a stay after knowing all of this information. Now, like I said earlier, this is literally, I feel like, just a small amount of information that I can give you guys. You can find a lot more on their personalities through any of the content that I listed. Even as I'm filming this, it just feels like there is so much that I am missing. So many little like inside jokes, tidbits, stories that I'm just missing out on due to me not watching all of their content. Watching their many hours of content is something that I want to react to and, you know, do videos for those. So I didn't want to kind of like brush through it just for the sake of this. But please comment down below anything that you think should be on this list, or just share your favorite Stray Kids moment that you got, whether it be a serious, funny moment, whatever it may be. Just let me know in the comment section. This video would truly not be possible without you guys, man. Big shout out, big thank you to everyone that submitted any information, any small stories, literally anything. Shout out to the Patreon members, man. I love you guys. I love this entire stay community. I love being a stay. It is something that I wear proudly, and that's not going to change anytime soon. And in my lifetime, it is not going to change. I'm going to the grave. They're putting stay on my grave, man. But this community has truly been such a blessing, man, and I am so proud to be a part of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you walked away from this learning something that you didn't know before. If you knew everything I talked about on here, well, hey, I tried. But the future of Stray Kids is looking very bright, and I cannot wait to see what is to come. Happy 8 years of Stray Kids, man. Thank you guys for watching. I love y'all. Peace out.